Welcome to the WION podcast, where we explore fascinating stories and ideas from various fields. In this episode, we explore whether the USS Abraham Lincoln is a calculated distraction, drawing Iran's attention with visible naval power, while stealthy B-2 bombers position for a far more silent strike. Aircraft carriers are the most visible symbols of American power. By sailing the USS Abraham Lincoln through the Strait of Malacca and into the Indian Ocean with a public announcement from CENTCOM, the US ensures that every Iranian radar and satellite is fixed on its position. This visible deterrence creates a massive amount of noise, allowing stealthier assets like B-2 bombers to maneuver in the shadows, while Iran's focus is glued to the carrier's flight deck. History is the best predictor of the future. In June 2025, during Operation Midnight Hammer, the US famously sent B-2 bombers west over the Pacific as a public decoy, while the actual strike package flew east over the Atlantic to hit Iranian nuclear sites at Fordo and Natanz. Analysts believe the Lincoln is currently playing the 2026 version of that ruse, acting as the loud asset to mask the silent movement of bombers landing at Diego Garcia. While the world watches the Lincoln's escort destroyers, satellite imagery has confirmed increased activity at the Diego Garcia airbase. With its extra-long runways, Diego Garcia is the only base in the region capable of hosting the heavy B-2 Spirit. If a strike were to happen, the B-2s would likely launch from here, flying high above the Lincoln's airspace to drop 30,000-pound bunker busters, while the carrier's jets engage in electronic jamming to further confuse Iranian defenses. The Persian Gulf is a shooting gallery for Iran's thousands of fast-attack suicide boats and shore-based anti-ship missiles. By keeping the USS Abraham Lincoln in the Indian Ocean or the Arabian Sea, rather than entering the narrow Gulf, the US Navy protects its $13 billion asset. From this distance, the Lincoln can't easily launch a massive, sustained carrier deck strike, but it remains the perfect magnet to draw Iranian forces away from the northern corridors where bombers would enter. With the UAE officially banning offensive strikes from its soil and airspace as of January 26, 2026, the US has lost its primary land-based launch pads for fighter jets. The B-2 bomber, however, does not need regional bases. It has the range to fly from the US or Diego Garcia. This makes the Lincoln's jets less about the strike and more about the escort, providing a diversionary protective screen for the bombers that the UAE won't allow to launch from Al Dhafra. By keeping Lincoln in a holding pattern for weeks, the US is engaging in a psychological tactic called conditioning. When a massive carrier strike group stays in the region without attacking, the defending force eventually enters a state of high alert fatigue. Once the ABE becomes part of the daily background noise, the actual strike, delivered by stealth bombers, can achieve total tactical surprise, just as it did in 2025. In modern warfare, a carrier's most dangerous weapon isn't just its jets, it's its command and control. The Lincoln acts as a massive floating sensor and communications relay. It can coordinate the entire orchestra of a strike, directing tomahawks from destroyers and B-2s from the stratosphere, without ever launching a single pilot into Iranian airspace. This allows the carrier to remain safe while still being the brain of the operation. Thanks for tuning into this incredible story. If this episode resonated with you, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more captivating stories to come. Stay tuned.